Okay, so let's jump into it. So to start with today's class, please join me as we pray the True Millionaire's Prayer by Brother Bo Sanchez. Lord, today we ask you to bless us so we may become a blessing to others. Lord, we commit ourselves to enrich others, but because we cannot give what we do not have, we commit ourselves to become rich. We commit ourselves to serve you and to serve the poor with our wealth. Today we open ourselves to the abundance of your universe. Use us as your channels of love. Give us the ability to create wealth that will bless the world. Increase our financial wisdom and expand our territories. We place our lives in your hands. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hello everyone, welcome back to our daily fun day habit. Happy Friday and thank you for joining our financial literacy class today. I hope we are all ready to listen and to take notes as needed. We can also take screenshots of information that interests us all throughout the presentation. If you have questions, please write them down and talk to the person who invited you. If you want to watch a replay of this webinar, please put your email address in the chat box and we will send you a link. We value your time with us today and we will ensure that this next hour is going to be worth it. So for today, we will be discussing about money and financial education, particularly on financial challenges, financial concepts, and financial solutions. And with these with these topics, all of us should be able to learn something new, relearn something familiar, and unlearn something that needs changing. And to introduce myself, my name is Mayyu Cappleman-Bajet, and I will be your host for today. I am a marketing director here in IMG, and I am very much excited to share with you what I have learned by being a part of this community. In IMG, our mission is to educate 30 million Filipino families by 2030, and that's why I congratulate you for taking the first step towards financial literacy, towards overcoming poverty, towards financial independence. You are here because someone believes that you will greatly benefit from what you will learn today, and what we are about to learn are all taken from this book entitled The Secret to Saving and Building Your Future. If you want to get a copy of this book, please ask our inviter for details. So to give you a short introduction about financial literacy, financial literacy is defined as the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management, saving, budgeting, and investing. It includes properly managing debt, calculating interest, and understanding the time value of money. In other words, it is knowing how to properly manage our own money, how to allocate money for expenses, for debts, for emergencies, for investments, and for future purchases and for retirement. It is portrayed by good financial behaviors and decisions. And learning how to manage money is a lifetime practice because all throughout our lives, we will encounter money. Financial literacy is important because these are how it can affect our lives. One, it helps us understand how much we earn and spend because we learn how to budget, how to save, and how to manage our expenses. Second, it helps us manage debt and avoid debt because we learn how to pay off debts and understand interest rates. Third, it helps us protect ourselves from debt or bankruptcy because we learn to have an emergency fund. And lastly, it guides us to work towards a secure retirement, Why? Because we learn how to not just save for retirement, but to invest so that we can have a worry-free retirement. Moreover, we have this common idea when it comes to money that the poor continue to be poor while the rich continue to become richer. However, that is actually a wrong idea because it is the financial literate who become rich and will continue to be rich because they understand how money works. And that is why IMG, or the International Marketing Group, wants to share to all of us the secrets of the wealthy, because financial education is not just for the rich. Financial education is for everyone, no matter what your background is, no matter what profession you are in, no matter what your religion is or your politics are, no matter how much you earn, no matter if you're already rich or have a business, no matter what your education level is. And IMG serves as a link in connecting individuals and families to different financial tools and solutions to achieve financial security. And we all know that money is powerful. It is powerful that it can either make or break us. But money comes and goes, and money is just a tool. In IMG, we will learn that there is something that is more powerful than money, and that is financial education. Further, financial education was not taught to us back in high school or college, when in fact, it is an important subject or concept that we need to learn, just like math and science or history. We were taught how to work for money, but we were not taught how to have money work for us, right? And it's time to change that mindset and practice. So, together with the guidance of our mentors, we are here to share with you the basics of financial education because we believe that anyone is capable and should be given the opportunity to change his or her life for the better. And we will share with you a financial planning strategy that is simple, doable, and easy to understand. IMG is a community of financially educated people. We learn from our mentors, we learn from each other, we practice our learnings, and we share what we learn because we want more people to be financially educated, to have better financial behaviors, to have better lives. And in this community, we never stop learning, we never stop helping. Further, when the pandemic happened, it did not stop us from sharing the mission. We used tools to continue reaching out to our family, to our friends, and to other people, and to spread awareness about financial education. Sharing the mission is paying it forward so that all of us can achieve financial success. And why do we continue to share this mission? We continue to share the mission because of the financial challenges that all of us are facing. We may not face all these challenges at the same time, but we will surely face them at some point in our lives or at different stages in our lifetime. And there are four major areas of financial challenges. The first one is the uncertain labor market. This simply means that there is no security or assurance that our jobs will last long, especially those in the private sector. We are not certain if our jobs will be there in the next month or in the next year. Nobody expected sudden unemployment or loss of business during this pandemic, yet these happened. With advancing software and technology, everything seems to be digital nowadays. So if you noticed, automation is starting to take over, thus replacing more and more human workers. The second major area is low savings and high debt. And this is very, let's say, self-explanatory, as this simply means we do not have enough savings, but we do have debts or utang. Since we don't have enough savings, we tend to get more loans or utang every time we encounter a financial situation such as a medical emergency, right? And a habit that adds to low savings and high debt is the mentality of party now, bahala na later, or YOLO, you only live once, or bahala na si Batman, right? we spend our money without considering of our future. We just spend, spend, spend. So our lavish lifestyles and bad spending habits have a big impact on retirement, because instead of a worry-free retirement, the retirement money that we get is used to pay for our debts. In short, nothing is left for us to spend when we retire. That is why there are people who continue to work beyond age 65 in order to survive. They will take any job so they can have something to use for their daily expenses. The third major area is the high cost of education. Tuition fee increase all the time, and aside from tuition fees, there are other expenses for education, whether our children are enrolled in public or private schools, or in any school for that matter, and even when they have scholarships, right? And these expenses include allowances, food, school supplies, books, rent for housing or dorm, transportation, uniforms or clothes, computers, internet, and others. And I bet all of us want our children to be in a good school, right? Hence, majority of Filipinos need to save enough for the cost of a good education. And the fourth major area is the increasing cost of living, and this is directly affected by inflation. So inflation is the rate at which money loses its value and the level of prices for goods and services is rising. As we can see here, the inflation rate last December 2020 was 3.5%, and it went up to 4.2% in January 2021 and further up in April 2021 at 4.5%. The latest inflation rate is for October 2021 at 4.6%, comparing it to October last year, which was 2.5%. And for 2021, the average inflation rate in the Philippines is 4.5%. So the higher the inflation rate, the lower the value of our money. Let's take our 1,000 pesos for example. So 10 years ago, we can buy groceries that can last us 2 weeks with just 1,000 pesos, right? Today, that 1,000 pesos can only buy groceries that is good for 3 to 5 days. Thus, inflation affects the purchasing power of our money. When there is no increase in salary, what can 1,000 pesos buy us in the next 10 years? In summary, these are the four major areas of or where Filipinos or most Filipinos are financially challenged. So considering these challenges or realities in life that all of us will face, the next question for us would be, how can we overcome these challenges? What can we do? So it is important to know that our future is not in the hands of anyone else, not our company, not our friends, not even the government. Nobody has the responsibility to make our life better and financially secure except us. In IMG, we will learn how to make money, save money the right way, accumulate money, or how to grow it, and most importantly, to protect the money that we worked hard for. Moreover, we can be our own money manager. We can DIY managing our own money by understanding how money works and how it will work for us. That's why IMG encourages everyone to acquire financial education, because financial education together with discipline will help us become wealthy and financially secure to overcome the challenges that we face in the four major areas. And to further understand how money works, let us first learn four financial concepts. And these are saving the right way, the Xcurve concept, the power of compound interest using the rule of 72, and how to build a solid financial foundation. So the first concept is saving the right way. So in general, people save money in three ways: the wrong way, the right way, and the abundant way using the abundance formula. So the wrong way of saving is shown as income minus expenses equals savings. This means that when we receive our income, we spend first on expenses and save what is left. So this is the wrong formula of saving, because what if there is nothing left to save, right? So having savings is low. because if this is the way we save money, it means that we do not prioritize setting aside money for future expenses or for emergencies. On the other hand, the right way of saving is income minus savings equals expenses. This means that when we receive our income, we save first and spend what is left on our expenses. This is the right way of saving because we prioritize in setting aside money for our future selves before spending them on expenses. In short, paying ourselves first. Having money for future expenses and emergencies is high when we follow this formula. And lastly, the abundant way of saving using the abundance formula is income minus tithes minus savings equals expenses. So this is the abundance formula of saving because we strongly believe in sharing our wealth or sharing our blessings and giving back. Tithe is the money we give to the church or an organization or to charities that nurture our spiritual growth. Thus, earn 100%, give 10% of our income as tithe or donation or gift, invest 20%, and live on 70%. And this allocation can be adjusted based on our preference and capacity. Further, if the abundance formula is something that we do not normally practice, make sure then that we are saving the right way by paying ourselves first before spending money on expenses. That way, we will be secured with enough money for future expenses, for emergencies, and for retirement. All right. The next concept is the Xcurve concept. So the Xcurve concept states that ideally over time, as we get older, our responsibility decreases and our wealth increases, as shown by the two curves that run to opposite directions during our lifetime. So the red line here is our responsibility line, and the green line is our wealth line. So when we are younger, we have high levels of responsibilities. We have the responsibility to take care of our family since we are the ones working to help our parents, our siblings, or if we are starting our own family. If we are the breadwinner, it is our obligation, whether we live or die, to provide for food, for shelter, clothing, education, healthcare, and to pay our bills, right? At this time also, normally we have little or no savings at all. That's why we work hard to have money and to receive active income. Thus, we are using a temporary income to support permanent needs, okay? Because our income during this time is usually temporary and our needs are very permanent. So we say that we are less secure. On the other hand, as we get older, ideally we are increasing our wealth, because by the time we are 40 or 50 years old, we are already done paying for our loans, our debts, the education of our kids. We are done paying for the loans or the car and other expenses. We are saving and investing more. Hence, as we get older, we have lesser responsibilities and more savings and investments. The Xcurve concept shows us that even though that we have these responsibilities when we are younger, we still save money the right way, and that is paying ourselves first, because we understand that the goal is to set aside money, meaning invest a portion of our money that will support us during our retirement years. So when we retire, we continue to receive income from our investments, because our investments is how our money is working for us. And this income that we receive from our investments is called the passive income. Thus, when we get older, we say we are more secure. However, there are questions that we need to consider in our lifetime. When we are younger and fulfilling our responsibilities, what if we die too soon? Are we prepared for this? Who will then take care of our families who are depending on us? And when we get older, what if we live too long? Do we have enough savings that will last us 20 to 30 more years? who will take care of us when we get sick or need to be hospitalized? So are we going to depend on our children? Are we going to be an additional burden to them? So to answer these questions, if we die too soon, life insurance can take care of our family, because life insurance is equivalent to instant cash that can help our family in the event something happens to us. And if we live too long, investment and long-term healthcare will take care of us. So our key takeaways here are: we now know that we need to take care of our families who are depending on us during our younger years, and we should not make our children our investments or retirement fund when we get older. So we need to strive then to have life insurance to take care of our family in case we die too soon, and start our own investments and long-term healthcare plans to take care of us when we live too long. Okay. And the third concept is the power of compound interest using the rule of 72. So compound interest is the result of calculating the interest earned over time by adding it to the principal investment. In other words, it's interest on interest over time. And this is best described using the rule of 72. So the rule of 72 was popularized by Albert Einstein, and it is a shortcut used to estimate the number of years required to double our money at a given annual rate of return. We simply divide 72, which is the constant number, over the interest rate. So for example, if the interest rate is 4%, then our money doubles every 18 years. For an 8% interest rate, our money doubles every 9 years. And for a 12% interest rate, our money doubles every 6 years. Okay? So to illustrate, for example, if we are aged 29 now and we have 100,000 pesos to invest, right? And we invested it in an account that provides 4% interest rate. So with the formula 72 divided by 4, our money doubles every 18 years. So at age 47, our money doubled, and at age 65, our money doubled again, right? Every 18 years. However, if we are able to invest our 100,000 pesos in an account that provides 8% interest rate, then our money doubles every 9 years, meaning every 9 years from age 29 to 65, our money can double not just 2 times, but 4 times, making our 100,000 pesos to grow as much as 1.6 million pesos at age 65. So how much more if we can invest that 100,000 pesos in an account that provides 12% interest rate, right? This means that our money doubles every 6 years. So from age 29 to 65, our investment doubled 6 times, wherein our 100,000 pesos can grow to as much as 6.4 million pesos at age 65. So basically, when we invest our money, the higher the interest rate, the faster our money can double. And keep in mind that compound interest only works best when investing for the long term, and that is around 20 to 40 years. So I'll give another example. So let's assume that we are investing in a mutual fund that provides 12% average annual return. So this is our interest rate. So using the rule of 72, our money doubles every 6 years. Okay? So if we are 25 years old today and we consistently invest 500 pesos per month for 40 years, because this is before, or we are going to add it so that we will reach the retirement age, which is 65. Okay? So if we invest 500 pesos every month for 40 years, our total contribution is 240,000 pesos. And with 12% average annual return, our investment can grow to as much as 5.2 million pesos at age 65. Okay? And if we are 30 years old today and we consistently invest 500 pesos every month for 35 years, our total contribution of 210,000 pesos can grow to as much as 2.9 million pesos when we reach age 65, and so on. So how much more if we are investing 1,000 pesos every month? If we are investing 1,000 pesos every month and when we reach the age of 65, we can become millionaires. Okay? So in these examples, we can clearly see the big difference between money saved versus money invested. So if we save 500 pesos a month for 35 years in a savings account in the bank, the total sum is just around 210,000 pesos. And with inflation, its value can be lower. Because what happens to our money in a savings account in the bank? If we still do not know this, most banks will only give us 1% annual interest or less. So applying the rule of 72, if we put our 100,000 pesos in the bank, we will have to wait for 72 years before it can double. So how much more if we are getting 0.5 annual interest, right? Imagine waiting for 144 years before our money can double. However, we are not saying that banks are bad, right? And we will discuss later in the next slides why we need them as well. The key point here is the interest in savings accounts is too low to offset inflation and increasing taxes. And there are ways wherein we can grow our money to offset inflation. And that is investing in the stock market. Yes, we put our money to work by investing in the stock market. So many of us have this misconception that investing in the stock market only belongs to the rich or the wealthy. We used to think that investing was only for this group of people, right? That's why we are all fortunate to be here, because as early as now, we will correct this misconception. Now, we know that investing is a great way to be rich or wealthy, especially for normal people, for the working class, for the low or middle income earners. Anyone who has the means can invest in the stock market. It is in the stock market where we can find investment platforms or financial instruments that will help our money grow to offset inflation and increasing taxes. It is in the stock market where we enjoy 8 to 12% interest rates for the money we invest. And of course, we invest for our long-term goals, such as for our retirement fund and big purchases. Okay? And we can invest in two ways. So these are through direct investing or indirect investing. So direct investing is when we actively trade in the stock market, meaning we participate in the buying and selling of shares or stocks of a company, while indirect investing is when we invest passively in mutual funds. So if we are new to investing, it is recommended to invest in mutual funds and learn from there. So why mutual funds? One, it is easier to do. Two, the money that we invest will be handled by professional fund managers who are licensed and certified. Three, a mutual fund includes several companies and not just one, which provides a diverse investment portfolio, meaning when we invest in mutual funds, we are not just putting money in one company. We are not just investing in one company, but several big companies. Okay? And lastly, investing in mutual funds requires a low investment minimum amount, meaning you can already start investing in mutual funds with just 1,000 pesos. So how do mutual funds work? Let's look at the next slide. So a mutual fund is a company that pulls money from different or from many individual investors like you and me, and the fund managers invest that money in securities such as stocks, bonds, and other assets of these companies within that fund. So the fund managers are the ones who invest our money or buy shares from these companies. So all we have to do as individual investors is to continue investing or adding more money to our investment account and wait for our money to grow. So the generated returns or gains that we receive from our investments are from the profits or earnings of these companies in the mutual fund. And of course, our returns will depend on how much we invested in that fund. Okay? So if we have questions about mutual funds investing, please talk to the person who invited us so we can also attend free classes on mutual funds investing. So the key point here is saving money is wonderful, but investing for your future is very crucial. And understanding the concept of compound interest using the rule of 72 makes us realize that there is no such thing as double or triple your money in 6 months or in a year, because those are most likely scams. Okay? And before we start investing our money in mutual funds, let us first learn the fourth concept, which is how to build a solid financial foundation. So a strong and solid financial foundation will provide us with the peace of mind that we need, because these are the building blocks towards financial security. We need to understand that in order to achieve financial security, we should correctly start somewhere, right? And we need to properly build our financial foundation so that when there are challenges or problems that we encounter, such as sickness, unemployment, emergencies, crisis, pandemic, we still have that financial security. We still feel that peace of mind, right? So what is the meaning of financial security? Financial security refers to that peace of mind, that feeling of contentment, thinking that we are not worried about our income or our savings being enough to cover expenses. For example, using the solid financial foundation, we are financially secured when we have proper health care, because we have health insurance to help us pay for our hospital bills when we get sick or when we are hospitalized, right? We are financially secured when we have life insurance, because if we die too soon, our family is taken care of. We are financially secured when we paid all our debts, because we no longer have that extra expense, meaning we have more savings and investments. We are financially secured when we have an emergency fund, because it means that we have money for any financial situation. And we are financially secured when we have savings and investments, because when we retire and when we live too long, we have enough money set aside to support us, especially when we no longer have jobs. That is financial security. So let's discuss further in detail each block of the financial foundation. So for proper health care, there are 3 types of health care. We have the short-term health care, the senior care, and the long-term health care. So the short-term health care is the traditional HMO. This is the health care we get from the company where we are employed at. It has no life insurance coverage, renewal is not guaranteed. It only covers until age 60. So after we retire or when we are unemployed, we no longer have health care or health insurance. Also, any unused premiums are not returned to us, so it's good as nothing. And just like short-term health care, senior care is the health care that covers beyond 60 years old. But this one is very expensive due to conditions or illnesses that we might be having or experiencing when we get older. And annual premiums increase as we age, and renewal is not guaranteed. We do not recommend waiting to be at this age to get this expensive health care when we have the option of getting a long-term health care while we are able and insurable. So the long-term health care is a health care coverage with health savings account. It is renewable and has a fixed premium, and it has insurance coverage. All unused fund accumulates with interest because the unused premiums are being invested. And the best part is it covers beyond age 60. So we will share with you in the next slides the long-term healthcare program that we have in the Philippines. So having the proper healthcare is the start of building our solid financial foundation. So the old saying, health is wealth, rings true, because without proper healthcare, we might end up spending most of our savings and investments when we get sick or when we are hospitalized. All right? And the next block is having life insurance. So we need to have life insurance, especially when there are people depending on us and our income. As mentioned earlier, the main purpose of life insurance is to protect our loved ones the moment we die. So, as breadwinners in the family, or a working spouse or parent, our income is our superpower because it is how we provide for our family to give them a comfortable life, such as having the essentials like housing, food, clothing, and education. If we don't have life insurance and something happens to us, such as if we get sick or worse, we die too soon, there is no guarantee our families will be comfortable. They will surely struggle, and we don't want that to happen to them. So if we have life insurance together with some savings and investments, these can replace our income should something happen to us. With life insurance, the basic needs are at least met since it is a replacement for the income that the family used to receive. So we get life insurance not for ourselves but for our families who are depending on us. And how to compute for the right amount of coverage that we need? We use this formula by multiplying our annual or yearly income by 10 years. So why 10 years? We need to prepare our family that we leave behind with enough money to support them, pay for their needs and daily expenses, and to adjust to these big changes without the burden of financial stress and hardship. So going back to our formula, if our annual income is 240,000 pesos times 10 years, the amount of coverage of life insurance that we should get should be at least 2.4 million pesos. Okay? Moving on to the next block, which is we should be able to manage and pay off our debts. So part of establishing our financial foundation is eliminating debts. And one way of eliminating debt is to increase our cash flow. We find ways to earn extra income like a sideline or a side hustle or a side gig. And if we want to learn more about ways to pay off debts, we also have classes for that in IMG. Okay? So the key point here is we aim to live below our means so that as much as possible, we won't go into debt by getting more loans. So overall, let's aim for a debt-free life and say goodbye to debts. Okay? Next, we should have an emergency fund. So the emergency fund is the money that is set aside in cases of emergencies or for when the unexpected happens, such as job loss or sudden unemployment, accidents, unforeseen medical expenses, home or car repairs, a crisis, pandemics, right? And the emergency fund is different from the money we set aside for future expenses. So it is different from our investment. It is different from our retirement fund. So an emergency fund is the money that we put in our savings accounts in the bank that has ATM accessibility. Because whenever there is an emergency, we can easily withdraw the money. That's why we still need banks, as mentioned earlier. So having an emergency fund makes us prepared for any sudden financial situation, and it prevents us from using our insurance or investment or retirement fund in times of emergencies. And to compute for an emergency fund, we compute this by multiplying our monthly expenses by 12 months. Normally, it is 3 to 6 months of expenses. However, with this pandemic, it is suggested to have at least 12 months of expenses. So to start, we list down all our monthly expenses such as rent, utilities, groceries, internet bills, cable bills, phone bills, and others, and multiply the total by 12 months. So for example, if we have 10,000 pesos monthly expenses times 12 months, we should have at least 120,000 pesos as emergency fund in our savings accounts. Okay? And lastly, we should be able to build up our savings and investments. When we are young and working, we need to save up for our retirement, right? We need to have enough money to support us when we no longer have jobs or active income. And if we do not know this, we compute for our retirement fund using this formula. We multiply our yearly or annual income by 20 years. Why 20? We are considering the number of years that we may live after age 60, and we need this big amount for us to offset inflation and increasing taxes. So if we are earning 240,000 pesos a year times 20, our retirement fund should be at least 4.8 million pesos. And we can achieve our retirement fund amount by investing in mutual funds and long-term health care. Okay, so to summarize our solid financial foundation, here is a copy that you can take a screenshot of. It includes the action plans that we need to take to establish our financial house, because with a strong foundation, we will be provided with a well-established financial house, which means a financially secured family. Again, for proper health care, we get the short-term health care during our working years and start our long-term health care plans for our retirement years. For life insurance, we get the minimum coverage, which is our annual income times 10 years. We need to live below our means to avoid overspending and increase our cash flow so that we can manage to pay all our debts. We need to set aside an emergency fund, which is 12 times our monthly expenses, and we need to build up our retirement fund by computing our annual income by 20 years. And we can achieve our retirement fund goal by investing in mutual funds and long-term health care. So what's next, right? We're done with the financial concepts. So how can we start building our financial foundation? So for most of us who are new to these concepts, it might be challenging or overwhelming, right? To start building our solid financial foundation. So if there are three major financial needs that we must secure first for ourselves and our family, these are proper health care, life insurance, and savings and investments. And IMG is here not to just provide financial education, but provide us with the platform to start increasing our income and give us access to the different trusted companies that will offer us the right insurance and investment opportunities. Okay? And one of IMG's partner companies that will help us start building our solid financial foundation is Kaiser International. So Kaiser International is the only company in the Philippines that offers long-term healthcare that is coupled with insurance and investment. Okay, so in this program, we do not need to save separately for healthcare, for insurance, and another for investment. That's why it's called a 3-in-1 program, because with just one saving, we can already save for these three. So we have healthcare to pay for our hospital bills and as an HMO during our retirement years. We have life insurance to protect our family in case we die too soon, and we have investment to provide income that we need when we retire and when we live too long. Okay? So the Kaiser Ultimate Health Builder, or simply the Kaiser plan, is a long-term healthcare plan that we save for just 7 years. And we have several plans that we can choose from based on age and preference and capacity. So let's look at our example here. So let's say we are 22 years old now and we get the Kaiser K100 plan. So the total contract price is 411,750, which we can pay either monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, or spot cash, which is a one-time payment. Okay? Take note that there's also an annual policy fee of 500 pesos. Okay? So in our example here, let's say we are paying annually. So that is 58,821 pesos plus the 500 pesos policy fee every year for 7 years. Okay? So during the 7-year saving period or the accumulation period, we receive benefits such as free checkups, APEs, dental benefits, waiver of installment due to death or disability, basic medical benefits, insurance coverage, and so on. And after the 7-year saving period, we will be given a certificate of complete payment. And then all we have to do is allow our money to grow for the next 13 years. So during the growth period or the extended period, we still get the benefits that I mentioned earlier. And upon reaching maturity or on the 20th year, our money that we saved worth 411,750 pesos has now accumulated to almost 1.2 million pesos. So our savings for 7 years can reach this amount provided we did not get sick and use a portion of the savings amount. Okay? Next. So after the growth period and after our money has grown to almost 1.2 million pesos, we have the following options. First, we can withdraw the entire maturity value. We can withdraw portions of it, meaning we withdraw 50% and leave the 50% to be invested still, or retain the maturity value and let it grow further. Okay? Take note, however, that if we withdraw the maturity or the entire maturity value, which is the first option, we will no longer have any coverage under the Kaiser plan. Hence, it is highly recommended to keep the whole amount or a portion of it invested so we continue to have healthcare coverage, which is the main idea of getting this Kaiser plan. Okay? So, if we started saving for the Kaiser healthcare plan by age 22, and when we reach age 60 years old, provided we haven't used or withdrawn any of our savings, meaning we just retained the maturity value and let it grow. At age 60, our savings can grow to as much as 6.4 million pesos. And by age 65, our investment can grow to as much as 10.4 million pesos. And how did that happen? Compound interest. Okay? So the Kaiser Healthcare Program is a health fund for when we get sick, but if we remain healthy, it becomes a savings and investment fund. So I'm sure our guests have questions in mind. So if you want to know more about Kaiser Healthcare Program and the different Kaiser plans, please talk to the person who invited us so that we will be provided with more information and to answer our questions about this. Okay? So moving on, aside from Kaiser International, IMG is also partnering with several big companies in the Philippines, providing healthcare, life insurance, investment, and other financial products and services. And with these partnerships, IMG is providing a lot of benefits to its members. And here is a list of some of these partner companies per category. So by being a member of IMG, we can avail of the products and services of these companies for free or at a discount. And IMG is generous to be giving its members 62 exclusive benefits to help us start saving for our future based on the financial concepts of building wealth. Since we do not have enough time to discuss all 62, allow me then to summarize these benefits in a few slides. So first and foremost, we have unlimited free financial seminars, trainings and workshops, financial checkups, and financial classes, as this is, of course, IMG's ultimate mission. And we also have, we receive free gifts, access to healthcare and discounted medical services. We have access to insurance, investment, and discounted financial products and services. We also have access to services such as asset preservation, legal assistance, memorial services, and auto program. In IMG, we can also receive rewards such as traveling the world for free. We have world-class recognition, and we can qualify for free HMO coverage. IMG is also providing its members with informative materials, online tools to support us in our online financial businesses, and we have free classes and trainings to learn this online system. And we also, or IMG is also providing worldwide protection and benefits to our international members, our OFWs, and those with international codes. And lastly, in IMG, we can earn extra income via the business ownership program. So we can increase our cash flow. And this can also be the start of our own business career as a financial educator. So to get more information on these exclusive benefits that we can get in IMG, let's talk to our inviter after this class. Okay? And we can get these wonderful lifetime benefits, these financial solutions, when we become part of the IMG family. And this one-time payment lifetime membership with annual accredit, and this is sorry, I'm just excited. Let's restate. This is a one-time payment lifetime membership with annual accreditation. And we have two membership options. We have the basic membership and the associate membership. So if we choose to get the basic membership, we pay the one-time fee of 6,000 pesos for the Philippine code. So international codes for international members have different fees. So if you are outside the Philippines, please talk to the person who invited you so you can get more details on these, okay? And with the basic membership, the benefits that we can get are access to the 62 benefits, the opportunity to be licensed and accredited as a financial planner. We have 50,000 death or memorial benefit. We have 100,000 accident insurance benefit. We have our online mutual fund account with 1,000 pesos worth of shares and unlimited financial education trainings and classes. And as we can see here in the upper right side of the slide, with just the basic membership, 2 blocks of the solid financial foundation are covered, which are life insurance and investment. And if we choose to get the associate membership, we pay the one-time fee of 6,000 pesos for the Philippine code plus the first month's payment of the Kaiser healthcare plan. So this is just an example because we are using the K100 plan, hence the total initial payment is 12,382 pesos. And with this membership, the benefits that we can get are access to the 62 benefits, the opportunity to be licensed and accredited as a financial planner, up to 500,000 pesos memorial death benefit, up to 1 million accident insurance benefit, the online mutual fund account with 1,000 pesos worth of shares, and unlimited financial education trainings and classes, plus the opportunity to start a financial brokerage business with 6-figure income potential, which will help increase our cash flow, which in turn will help us manage our debt, build an emergency fund, and increase our investments. And of course, we have our Kaiser 3-in-1 long-term healthcare plan. So take note of the financial foundation. With the associate membership, all blocks are covered, which makes it a great start for us in building our solid financial foundation. So if you want to take a screenshot of this table, you may do so. And this is to provide you a breakdown of the membership fee. So these are what we will be paying for. So if you are interested in becoming a member or to learn more about our membership options, please do not hesitate to have a chat with your inviter after this class. So be part of a community or a group that inspires you. When members of your community save and invest, you will be inspired to save and invest as well, because the opposite will happen. When you surround yourself with people who are spenders, you will most likely spend more than you earn. Hence, find your money tribe that will help you rise from the financial challenges and help you achieve financial success. So IMG's mission is to convert people from being spenders to savers, and in IMG we all start as savers, and eventually we can become an advocate, an educator, and an entrepreneur. So being here now, you can be included in our movement, the 30M by 30 Financial Literacy Campaign. So please provide your name and email address to your inviter so you will be counted. Further, we are of course encouraging all our guests here today to invite your family and friends and whoever who can benefit from this class. Let's all share the mission and grow our financially educated community. And as of today, we are able to reach 4 million families around the globe. So let us all be part of this advocacy and start building a better future. And to end this class, let's watch this short video. Still loading. Okay, sorry about that. Still loading, okay? Anyway, it's not playing, so I do apologize for that. So, okay, here.
Generally, Filipinos have many bills to pay: tuition, rent, food, and transportation. But this should not be an excuse not to become wealthy. There's a simple secret to building wealth. No complicated schemes, no impossible tasks. It's called steadily saving. Simple, effective, yet not being done. Why? Research shows that from over 100 million in population, only 4 out of 10 Filipinos have savings. Of these 4 people, only 32% have bank accounts. The same research also found out that 4 out of 10 households have no emergency funds, while the other 6 have very little spare money. 4 out of 10 Filipinos spend more than what they earn. Sounds familiar? The others save the little amount left after all their expenses. Most Filipinos are not ready for retirement. By the year 2040, 20 million Filipinos are retirees, which is about 16% of the whole population. 7 out of 10 of these retirees will depend on the meager government pensions like SSS or GSIS funds, which cannot even catch up with inflation. Sadly, most of our senior citizens will be dependent on their children financially when they retire. This puts an additional financial burden on the children, who have their own bills and expenses to take care of. This is a daunting, vicious cycle. Many financial products and services are available to us today. With the right information, guidance, and training, everyone can retire comfortably. Sadly, only 8% of Filipinos are aware and have been investing in these options. It all starts with steadily saving. The earlier, the better. Financial literacy is such an important life lesson that even the Department of Education has adopted courses to educate students before they finish high school. Steadily saving, the sure way, the only way to financial freedom.
And remember that financial freedom is financial independence is not a dream, it is a decision to make. So why not start your journey towards financial freedom with IMG? Thank you very much for investing your time with us today. I hope everyone learned something new, relearned something familiar, and unlearned something that needs changing. Thank you everyone, and let's make it a great day.